Thanks for joining us. We're kind of watching some Big Ten football with Rutgers kicking off the season and giving you thoughts for week one. One of the things we're looking at right now is Notre Dame is an underdog this week against Texas A&M, which I wouldn't really think that would be the case.
No, when they're ranked in the top 10 and Texas A&M coming back from the season that they had, I mean, I don't see how Texas A&M is favored after the season they had. I mean, granted they have a new coach, but Notre Dame's in the top 10. They're bringing, they still have Marcus Freeman, so it just doesn't make sense to me. I think that'd be an easy bet for some bettors to take Notre Dame straight up.
I think it's got something to do with Mike Elko. I think like he's done a lot with a lot less talent with Duke. So I think you're giving him talent now at Texas A&M, and Notre Dame's pretty good at choking away big games.
Now they choke away games that they should win. They play tough. They played Ohio State tough last year, and then lost to Marshall.
Well, you're
my plus 280 bet would
yeah, your plus 280 for a Rutgers shutout's gone now.
Yeah.
With what? Under a minute left in the first half.
Yeah.
I thought the over under was like 50 something points. Didn't see these two teams getting close to that.
No. Nor Rutgers winning by over 33 points.
Right.
That was a huge spread.
Yeah, especially when you're bringing in the quarterback from Minnesota who struggled to throw the ball last year.
Yeah, just a defensive minded team. I mean, they're not going to be the type of team to run up the score even if they had the opportunity to.
Right.
They're going to run down the clock and stop you on defense.
Well, they're not doing that right now.
They're struggling versus Howard is not a good start to the season.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at their schedule, though, they missed everybody big this year. So even playing their style and this low scoring, I mean, they could still end up with 8 or 9 wins just because I think the only big dog they played is Michigan this year.
Yeah.
I think they miss. I'm pretty sure they missed Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State. I'm pretty sure Rutgers misses everybody this year. And then we got the North Dakota State and Colorado game later.
Yeah. Yep. And I took some action on Colorado making the spread. I feel I'm not a huge Colorado fan. And I'm not a Deion Sanders fan. Yeah. Last time I knew it was 10. I think it's moved a little bit more towards like 11.5.
Well, it's going to be a minute because, now with new DraftKings, you have to log in every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I go off of FanDuel, but I took Colorado at an alternate spread of minus 12.5.
Ooh, you're thinking they're not really going to have a problem with.
No, I don't. And I get it. North Dakota State has became...
They're the FBS killer.
They are, but, just in the FCS, they were dominant for years, and I think they're starting to fall off. And, now they got a whole new coaching staff. A lot of the players were pretty upset with the coaching changes because they wanted their OC to get the job, and they didn't get it to him. And now he's left.
Yeah, the spread's minus 11.5 right now on DraftKings for Colorado.
Yeah, I think that is a good bet to take on Colorado.
I don't know. It's hard saying because you don't get the preseason hype because North Dakota State's FCS, so you don't get all the coverage that the other bigger teams get. So it's hard to say what they're bringing back, and I mean it would be one of the funnier things of the year.
Yeah,
if they go into Colorado there and beat Deion. But I mean,
I think Oklahoma State has it harder with the San Diego or South Dakota State.
Yeah.
They definitely have the harder challenge. But I think Oklahoma State has a better team. They have a lot of people coming back.
Yeah, but Mike Gundy, he's been known to blow a game or two.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like Rutgers might drive down here and get at least a field goal attempt. They've gotten all the way down the field after that Howard touchdown.
Yeah, basically their entire offensive production is that running back, their running back, because he just broke off another big play. I see Grayson McCall, he's going to start his first season at NC State here coming up.
Yeah,
I think they're opening the season, 24?
NC State?
Yeah. I think they're ranked.
Yeah, 24. They're 24. They get Western Carolina to start off the year, so they get a little cupcake action. Now, one of the teams I'm excited to see is what Michigan State looks like this year, with all the coaching, with the big coaching change and culture change. I mean, we talked to Kenny Jordan a couple weeks ago, and Jonathan Smith has kind of turned to 180 with that program as far as culture goes. It's about football now. It's not about bringing in the Lambos and the sports cars and all this stuff. Jonathan Smith's actually making it about football instead of appearances. So, I mean, they get Florida International tomorrow night. I think that'll be an interesting watch just to see kind of where they're at, especially with Aiden Childs. He's supposed to be electric, but I mean, he's a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
I mean, he was behind DJ last year, and we've seen what DJ did week 0, which was not much. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what Michigan State can roll out with.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't, when they originally had Mel Tucker come in and he had all his transfers coming in, I think he had a little bit more talent to work with right off the bat anyways. So I think, Michigan State fans definitely need to be a little bit more patient with Jonathan and his and Childs. They're both kind of under a lot of pressure to kind of quickly turn that team, and I don't think it will be as quick as Mel Tucker had his first season or two, but I think it's definitely for the long haul, they'll be all right.
Yeah, he's building a culture there, so it'll take a couple years. Just like you're looking at Mario Cristobal, he's going into his 3rd year.
Yep.
Supposedly now he's got his guys, the style he's looking to play. They have the quarterback issue. They really haven't had the solid quarterback. They got the one good Van Dyke year, and then he really struggled last year. Now they're bringing in Cam Ward, who tore it up for Washington State last year. So you got the quarterback, you got the running back. Supposedly, I watched a lot of the Dan Le Batard show, so Mike Ryan on there. He's pretty deep into that program, and they're saying this is one of the best defensive lines they've ever had, and that's saying a lot. Because, you had Warren Sapp in those 80s and 90s and early 2000s teams. I mean, you had a ton of talent there. So to say that this is one of the best defensive lines they've had, that's saying a lot. And they get the big test with Florida this Saturday.
Yeah. I think Miami kind of realizes right now they need to win now, and and they might have a little bit more, I guess, incentive to really play out this year with Florida State going down so early. That team did not look very good against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it opens the door. So, I mean, now you're looking, can Clemson recreate some of their magic? If not, I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to. They're going to be kind of in the same mold, defense. And then, unless Cade Klubnik stops up at quarterback, I mean, if you look at what Dabo Swinney's done, he's only been competitive with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, I think Brent Venables was a huge aspect to that program, and its success because, I feel like he changed the kind of mantra there for that defense. They were able to compete with SEC and Big Ten teams defensively, and now he's gone to do his own thing in Oklahoma. I think that's where their biggest struggle is.
Yeah, for sure. Clemson, I mean, Dabo, you either love or hate him. And he refuses his transfer portal. So, I mean, he's going all in with Cade Klubnik, who was top-rated quarterback, one of the top-rated quarterbacks, 5-star. So he's supposed to be able to be good. But, I mean, we're looking, look at Penn State, Drew Allard. 5-star quarterback, supposed to be good. I've seen a lot of the blame switch from him to be in the scheme now. So, kind of trying to rebuild him, I think. I think a lot was lost under Mike Yurcich. A lot of confidence and a lot of moxie. And with them going to West Virginia this week, it's going to be a big game. I mean, and you're looking at the expanded playoffs. So Penn State, everybody's penciling them into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a big hit if they don't come out on top Saturday against West Virginia. Yeah. And that crazy atmosphere that's going to be there.
Yeah, and I think people kind of underestimate, people outside of the Big Ten, I think kind of underestimate that rivalry. between Penn State and West Virginia. We went to the game last year when it was in Penn State, and it was intense. Happy Valley's always a great environment, but I guess even myself didn't realize how kind of high caliber rivalry that is. So in those rivalry games, anything can happen, and home field advantage is huge. But I think a lot of people's outside kind of views on Penn State is the last 4 or 5 years they've lost to Ohio State and Michigan, and that's it. That's really all they lose to. So I think that's why people pencil them into the playoffs so easily, because their 1 or 2 losses are going to come from the Big Ten champion.
Yeah, you can throw away the Ole Miss loss because so many opt-outs late. Bowl season isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, I don't even count it.
If it's not the playoff, you kind of can just throw away the results because, but that's what everybody who loses says too. If your team loses a bowl, well, it's because opt-outs and we didn't care.
Well, no, Georgia played Florida State last year in a bowl game, and
Florida State didn't care.
Yeah, we merged them, but it doesn't mean Georgia's any better because they just didn't play anybody. We played everybody's third string. It wasn't a game I want to hang my hat on. But going back to the Georgia Clemson game, Georgia's definitely gotta come out strong and aggressive, so that way they don't go into Atlanta and get hit in the mouth with Clemson, which I don't think's gonna happen, but any high caliber game, you look, I didn't think Florida State was going to be coming out looking as bad as they did against Georgia Tech. And like I said, they almost kind of got shook.
It just shows that you got to have a quarterback that can stretch the field. If you don't have a quarterback that can't stretch the field, you can't do much anymore.
Well, and their defense, granted, they lost a good amount of people to the draft and stuff like that, but their defense was just not looking good at all. There's no leadership on that Florida State defense, and it definitely took its toll because Georgia Tech was just running all over them. They were just doing whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, the Haynes and Haynes King, or King Haynes, whatever it was. Quarterback name was Haynes, and Haynes King was the quarterback's name. And then the running back's last name was Haynes.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Haynes and Haynes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was a running back.
Yeah, they look. If we're really, neither team looked great. Neither team looked like a playoff team, even though it's week 1.
Yeah.
But neither team really looked like, okay, yeah, they're gonna be one of the top 12 teams. Both teams are gonna have to improve to get to that.
Yeah.
Florida State's season's not over, but their margin for error pretty much
is gone.
Yeah, I think they have to win the ACC now.
Yeah.
So you think they already got 1 loss in the ACC? So I think they're pretty much going to have to win out at this point. I don't know if they get in. Obviously they'll get in if they go 11-1 and win the ACC.
Yeah.
And if they win the ACC at 10-2, they get in. But I don't know if they get in if they lose. If they don't win the ACC?
Yeah, it's hard to say, and it kind of depends on the other conferences and what you do. I feel like it's almost like a shoo-in that you're going to get 3 Big Ten teams, 3 SEC teams, and then like you said, you could get 2 Big 12s, 2 ACCs, and then your top 5 or your Power 5. 12, right?
I think you could even go. I think you could get. You're looking at 4 SEC, I think, 4 Big Ten. You're looking at 1 Big 12, maybe 2 ACC. Either the Big 12 or the ACC. One of those 2 is getting 2, and then your group of 5.
Yeah.
The playoff was set up for the Big 10 and the SEC.
Yeah.
And the steep drop off between the 2.
Yeah.
Because you look at the Big 12, that is just a heap of mediocrity.
Yeah.
There is no great team over there.
Yeah.
Even if a team goes undefeated over there, say Utah runs the table, nobody's going to be scared of Utah in the playoff.
No.
And you're going to look at their schedule, you're going to look at who they play. Oh, yeah, they beat, 5, 8, and 4 teams. Well, that's because that whole conference is going to be.
Yeah.
The whole conference is going to be between 9 and 3 and 5 and 7 because they're all the same.
Yeah.
There's nobody in the Big 12 that can win the national title this year.
No.
If you look at the ACC, Clemson has to get the quarterback right before they could contend.
Well, even before Florida State's blunder, it was Florida State, Clemson, and in Miami. That was the three contenders that could win the ACC and do something in the postseason. But
and NC State maybe
like I said, if Georgia comes out and just
throttles
Clemson, I think the spread is like 17. So, that's 3 scores is the spread. I mean, it's just kind of a killer to, trying to reignite that program back to its successful, ways.
Minus 13.5.
So it's gone down.
I am taking minus 13.5.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I definitely take the under. I think because it's gonna be 2 defensive teams.
Yeah.
Like Clemson strengths the defense.
Yeah.
Georgia's strengths the defense. I mean, they got Carson Beck, and they're more explosive on offense than what they have been.
Correct, but Kirby does not run up the score.
Right. So over/under's 48.5. So if you get a close game, 27-24 goes over.
Yeah.
But if you don't get a close game, if you get a 28-7 game or 28-10 game, which I could see happening, I could see 28-10 Georgia.
I'd say a good Georgia number would be 31, and I think Clemson would come in around probably 17-ish, 20-ish
at most.
At most, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see with what Clemson did last year, and to not really change up much.
Yeah.
And just knowing what Georgia's going to reload with, I think it'd be hard. Like if you're Clemson, you're hoping for 21-20.
Yep. And we got some key starters on defense coming back with Michael Williams, Stackhouse is back, and then obviously Malachi Starks is like a three-year starter coming back. Safety, they're gonna rotate in KJ Bolden, who they flipped from Florida State. He's a 5-star safety. They got the Alabama transfer Pope. He's going to be, transferring into, rotating into. So I hope that their defense is better than it was last year. I feel like their defense kind of dipped a little bit last year. I feel like it was kind of hard to tell unless you watch Georgia games like I do. But our red zone defense definitely struggled a lot last year. So I'm hoping we see an improvement on that end. But yeah, their offense is still pretty good, and we're always pretty good on the offensive line and running back. And then Carson Beck, his second-year starter, I feel like he's got a lot to prove that, he can go out there and carry that team to be a championship contender.
Arkansas just scored very early in their game against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yep.
I mean, this is a big season for Sam Pittman.
Yeah, unfortunately, I see him as one of the coaches that are going to be fired after the end of the year. I liked him. He came from Georgia's coaching staff. I think he was the offensive line coach, for a couple of years. But yeah, he just cannot get the guys in that he needs to get in there. Arkansas seems to be a decent school to, have NIL and
basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, basketball is better off, but they've had some big names come through that campus before, and they've been relevant before on the national, stage. Yeah. But I just don't think Pittman has the kind of. He's just not a character guy, and he doesn't really excite anybody. He's not like a Lane Kiffin. He's not like a player guy.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. I lost a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was doing the whole he was tweeting fake news and stuff before the Peach Bowl.
You did show me that, yeah.
He was just making stuff up about Kobe King and.
I was gonna say, but that was just because he was dogging on your guys.
No, it's leave the kids alone. He created burner accounts and just started making fake news about the other team. Just play the game.
I always liked Kiffin just as a coach, but
I did before that.
Yeah. I think this is his year to stand out. He's got the biggest I don't know if he's still the first or at least the second transfer class. He brought in a huge amount of talent into that Ole Miss team. He's got a lot of people coming back. He's got Jackson Dart coming back, and talk about the easiest schedule in the world. Ole Miss has got it.
Yeah, they still got Georgia this year, though.
Yeah, they do have Georgia, and they do have LSU, but I believe both of those games are at home for them.
Yeah, Georgia plays everybody on the road this year.
Yep. Georgia plays Ole Miss. They go to Texas.
Just a terrible road schedule or home schedule for Georgia fans this year.
Yeah.
If you bought season tickets to Georgia this year,
yeah, you're
not getting your money's worth.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of disappointment for sure. I wish they would. They've talked about it. I wish they would make the Georgia-Florida game a home and home.
Like actually play at home.
Yeah. They go down and play at Jacksonville Stadium or whatever.
See these cool helmets Western Carolina has against North Carolina State?
Yeah.
Got the numbers on one side and the cats on the other side.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Yeah, they got targeted on NC State. So one of their defensive players has already been ejected.
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, it's Western Carolina, so it really shouldn't come into play, but
yeah,
sucks, first drive of the year, and you get thrown out because of a targeting call.
Yeah. But NC State, they're another one that, I don't think that people should sleep on in the ACC. They're always defensively sound. And like you said, if Grayson McCall could be their answer at quarterback, he could win some meaningful games this year.
Yeah, it's a step up in competition for him, so it's going to be interesting to see how he handles that coming from Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
And but it's ACC too, so I mean, if you look at, I think right now you have to look at Miami as being the team to beat ACC.
Yeah.
Just based on what Florida State showed us. Now, if Florida beats Miami this week and Georgia beats Clemson this week, ACC's
gonna be talked about.
It's gonna be talked about how they want to be considered in the group of Big Ten and SEC, but if they lose all three of their marquee games, well, two of the marquee games, because the Florida State game was an in-conference game, so
that's another betting line you should be looking at is the Miami-Florida game, because
I think it was 2.5.
Smack it on Miami, because Florida nothing's changing down there, and that's another coach. Billy Napier's going to be fired after the end of this year too.
Even if he had a good team.
Yeah, if he had a good team, he'd still be getting fired.
With that schedule, man, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami's 2.5-point favorites right now.
Yeah, that is.
And that game's in Florida.
Yeah,
it's in the Swamp.
Yeah, which is a tough place to go play, especially for a season opener. But there's no way that's going to be a close game. Florida, like I said, hasn't really improved much roster-wise, and Napier has not been who Florida thought they were going to get.
He's recruiting well.
Yeah.
So he's getting players in there.
He is, but that's like the Florida brand that is getting those players in there. I don't think it's really much of Napier's scheme or anything. And like I said, I just don't see any good outlook. Like I said, they could start the season 5-0 and they're going to end up 5-5.
Right.
Because that last
they have that one brutal 5-game stretch in the season.
Yep.
Where they face they're all top 15 teams or something right now.
Yeah, they face Georgia. I used to know every one of them, but I know they go against Georgia. They go against LSU. I think they go against Alabama. And yeah, it's a gauntlet. Ole Miss is another one.
Money's coming in North Dakota State because the line went down to 12 now.
Yeah.
So it already dropped. It dropped again to 11.5, 11.5. So the money's coming in on North Dakota State
that is not good.
To at least cover.
Nope.
Against Colorado. Because what we were just talking, it was 12.5, right?
No, I took 12.5 as an alternate spread.
What did I say? It was 13.5?
It was 11.5.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
So it hasn't dropped?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, it dropped to 11.
Because I think when I originally looked the other day, it was at 10. Okay. It was 10.5.
I think I said 11.5.
Yeah.
I think. So it went down 0.5 point.
Yeah.
Just in a half hour. So that means money's coming in.
Yeah, I'm sure money's coming in. But like I said, I think people have a false narrative on North Dakota State. Because they're an FCS, so not a lot of people follow that. But like I said, they have so many coaching changes. I get like a lot of their players didn't transfer out like they said they would, but I still think there's just too much change to go in and be dominant in an away FBS game.
Right.
I just don't see it, and Shadur Sanders, like, again, I'm not a fan of any of Colorado nonsense and their clickbait stuff and Deion's character, but they're definitely going to win this game, and they're going to win by a good margin.
Then we got the Minnesota-North Carolina game coming up at 9. I got pushed back because of the storms.
Yeah. Yep.
Right now, North Carolina is a 2-point favorite on the road.
Yeah. Yep.
But,
and I think that's another 50-50 game. I could see it going both ways. Me personally, I think Minnesota has a little bit of an edge in that one, even as an underdog.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the quarterback, Rosmer, who transferred from New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Like, it's going to come down to him. Can he be better than Ethan is for Rutgers right now?
Yeah.
And can the new OC get a system where they can actually move the ball through the air a little bit? I mean, they're bringing back all the running backs. Darius Taylor's back, and that guy is a beast. I mean, he's really good. And they leaned on him last year to get to where they got last year, which was, I think, 6-6.
Yeah, I always see Minnesota as like a less talented Michigan team. I feel like they try to do everything like Michigan, and they just don't have as much skill players. But they definitely try to run the ball more than they pass and just dominate the line of scrimmage. But and that could be, PJ Flex time could be coming up here in Minnesota if he doesn't get a above average season going here. Definitely had high hopes with him coming in, and I mean, he's got to be in his like 4th or 5th season now.
He's more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's been there a while, so he really hasn't done a whole lot.
Right. I mean, he's kept them relevant. I mean, he had the pleasure of being in the West, so now that divisions are gone, yeah, like you said, I think his seat could get hot in the Big Ten. When you're looking at Big Ten, I mean, you got PJ Fleck, who's probably on the hot seat if he has a bad season. Other than that, who else could be on the hot seat?
It's hard to say.
Ryan Day, if he loses to Michigan again.
Yeah, for sure. They might burn his house down if he loses to Michigan again.
I mean, James Franklin, if he doesn't make the playoff and expanded.
Yeah.
If Penn State misses the playoff with it being expanded,
I can see that.
Where if they had the 12-team playoff for the last 8 years, Penn State would have made it 6 out of 8 years.
Yeah.
And the first time it's expanded, he misses.
Yeah. Especially when he misses, he doesn't have to play Michigan
or Oregon
this year or Oregon. He gets a completely desolated Washington team, and he has to play Ohio State.
I mean, you get USC at USC.
Yeah.
You get Wisconsin at Wisconsin.
Yep.
But, I mean, and West Virginia. Like, I think West Virginia almost turns into a must-win now.
Oh, yeah, I think so for sure.
Because you might as well just chalk up the Ohio State as a loss.
Yep.
And if you lose to West Virginia, that means you have to beat USC at USC.
Yep.
And you have to beat Wisconsin at Wisconsin.
Do they play Nebraska too?
No.
No?
No. They got to go to Purdue.
Yeah, that's just Purdue's one of those teams that's
the Purdue curse.
Yeah.
What's gonna be funny is I think there was somebody that goes. I don't know if it's Ohio State or Oregon. Oregon goes to Purdue.
Oh yeah.
And we know how Purdue likes number 2 ranked teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Oregon's ranked number 2 and they go to Purdue, watch out.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I went to that season opener where Penn State played at Purdue, where they won basically with the walk-off touchdown, essentially, or with like 30 or 40 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
After Clifford threw the pick 6, Penn State ended up winning that game, and Purdue's tough to play at. I mean, the stadium, like the crowd, the atmosphere is not that crazy compared to the other games I've been to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Michigan, I've watched Penn State at Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana, Illinois.
But those days might be over now with Bohm being gone. That's how you pronounce his name.
Well, I mean, Ryan Walters is still there.
Yeah.
He's building defense. So you can take the Big West out of the Big Ten, but you can't take the Big Ten West out of Purdue.
Yeah.
The Big Ten West teams are still playing defense and focusing on defense, even though the division's not there.
Yeah.
Because you got Iowa, of course, doing what they do.
Yeah.
You got Minnesota's defensive minded.
Which, like we were talking earlier, I got I'm taking Iowa's spread, which is risky money if you ask anybody that's watched Iowa in the last 2 years. But they're playing Illinois State, and I got the spread at minus 22.5. So I got to win by 23. I don't see Illinois State scoring more than a field goal.
I don't know if Iowa can score more than 20.
Well, maybe their defense will have to score a touchdown or two, which could easily happen.
Because, they brought in Tim Lester, VDOC, but if you look at his track record,
it's not
impressive.
It's not impressive for somebody who just needs 2 touchdowns to win football games.
Right, like, they could have got somebody innovative or somebody that could at least, like, bring excitement to the offense, and they went with Tim Lester.
Yeah, they're like, you use your tight ends? We got a place for you. It looks like Arkansas scored again, so now it's 14-0 against
Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, so take that with a grain of salt you want to, but I see North Carolina State hasn't scored yet, and I think they've had 2 possessions now on offense.
Yeah, with McCall being transferring in, and you always got, like, the offenses. Most offenses are going to start slow week 1.
Oh yeah, but who are they playing? They're playing Western
Carolina.
Yeah.
But you just got to get into a groove, work out the butterflies, and that's what that's the plus of playing a Howard or Western Carolina or Arkansas Pine Bluff. You can afford to have a bad couple drives to start.
Yeah,
you're still going to be fine. Where you look at Clemson and Georgia and USC, LSU, and Penn State, West Virginia. You start one of those games off slow and get the crowds going. Well, I guess the only crowd that's really going to get going is the West Virginia one, because the other 2 are neutral sites.
Yeah.
But that's one of my big worries for that Penn State West Virginia game is if Penn State starts off really slow and West Virginia doesn't, then that crowd, you want to get that crowd out of that game as soon as possible. Like, ideally, first drive, just ground and pound, and now they're saying weather might be a factor.
No,
I don't want no rain game. I don't want that 17-14 Northwestern game we had a couple years ago in the hurricane.
No.
And it seems like the rain games, I think in that Northwestern game, Singleton fumbled twice.
Yeah.
Yes, Singleton's still here. Hopefully rain doesn't come so you can actually have the game how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of like a random thought that I had watching the Florida State Georgia Tech game was, on a betting standpoint, I'm wondering if, as the season progresses, you get more getting more overs hitting than unders, because with the new rules of helmet communications, you get one player on each side of the ball that the coach can talk to up to 15 seconds on the play clock. So I feel like some of the teams that would kind of grind out the clock and so that aren't going to do that, because they're going to want to make sure they can talk to the quarterback like right before the snap, to see the defenses and stuff like that. So I'm kind of just curious on if it's going to be more likely that overs hit than unders this season, just because like less teams are going to like run out the play clock, because like you said, your communication gets cut off at 15 seconds. So be interesting to kind of just track that and see how it works.
Showing that Arkansas touchdown again. Yeah, like you said,
that quarterback's pretty big. He's a big guy.
Transferred in. He's supposed to. I thought KJ Jefferson was fine for them. Was good enough for them, but you got NC State with a punt return here.
Yep.
Yeah, that was decent. Got into Western Carolina territory there.
Yeah, let's try to focus on how Grayson McCall is doing here. Let's try. See if you can get something going for the Wolfpack.
And then we should have North Dakota State and Colorado start here soon.
Yep, about 5 minutes or so.
And then if you look, in the Big 12, besides Utah, who are you focusing on Ooh, pick 6. Way to talk that into it. Great. Yeah. Let's watch how Grace McCall's doing. Interception, first play, down to the 5. Western Carolina takes it down to the 5.
Well then.
Well, I think he'll prefer if we don't check in on him now.
See the replay and see what happened. I wasn't even paying attention. Just staring down the receiver the whole way,
he
overthrew him, and
overthrew him.
Thanks.
With no pressure either.
No. That was just kind of
just a bad throw.
But we see Rutgers is still struggling. It's still only 17-7 against Howard.
With one of those being a defensive touchdown.
Yes.
They had a pick 6. Like I said, I mean, I'm not sure why they went the direction they went with Soroka as the OC and bringing in Ethan. Like, you've seen what that did at Minnesota.
Yeah.
What? I don't understand, like, what you could see differently out of there. Because it's not like Rutgers is better receiving than Minnesota.
No.
Like, I get it. Like I said, Rutgers probably has the easiest schedule in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But.
And I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but they had, like, these 2 really big wide receivers, extremely athletic, and then, like, they just didn't use them. Like, they just are really small, run ball, West Coast, short pass.
Now it's all RPOs.
Yeah.
Soroka.
Yeah.
That's all he runs is RPOs. And that guy, he has had a weird career arch. Let me look this up. Because he's had a few stops where you're just like, all right, why did that happen?
Yep.
Let me see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. As you look that up, West Carolina finishes that turnover with a touchdown, so now they're up 7-0 against North Carolina State.
Wiki open.
Well, they might have missed the extra point, so no, they're kicking it right now.
Yeah, so if you look, he got into D1, he got into FBS 2008 Rutgers as the quarterback coach, co-offense coordinator. Then he went to Richmond as quarterback coach, Delaware as a running back coach. Then he goes to Western Michigan to be the OC with PJ Fleck.
Yeah.
Goes with PJ Fleck to Minnesota to be the OC. Takes the better job as the OC at Penn State.
Yes.
For the 2020 COVID season.
Yeah.
Fired after 1 year because
we ain't running that shit.
Well, I won't entirely blame it on him. Yeah. But you got one, and you had one shot.
Yeah. In a COVID year.
Don't lose your chance.
You had 6 games.
You got an M&M in there.
Yeah.
And then he basically had an off year at West Virginia as quality assistant. Then he goes back to Minnesota as the OC for 1 year.
Jesus.
And then now he's back at Rutgers as the OC.
Oh, man.
Like, he runs RPOs. Like, that's the entire offense, just RPOs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when he had... What was the one quarterback name for Minnesota that was there forever?
Fucking Tanner Morgan.
Tanner Morgan. He was good with Tanner Morgan.
Yeah.
But since then, it hasn't worked anywhere.
No.
Like, it has not been effective anywhere. I mean, toward the back half of that season at Penn State, like, they were able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, that's how I felt about your other old OC.
Yursich.
What's that?
We don't utter that name.
Who?
Mike Yursich.
No, It was...
Moorhead?
No, it was whoever coached your OC when Barkley and McSorley was there.
Joe Moorhead.
Was it Moorhead?
Yeah.
I thought it was...
No, Moorhead got it, and then he relayed McSorley and Barkley into the head coaching job at Mississippi State, and then he got fired from there. And then he was Oregon OC.
Gotcha.
And now he's head coach over at Akron.
Who was I thinking of?
I don't know. Joe Moorhead was the Barkley.
So I guess right before that was your OC, and then he went to Michigan, and then he went to Miami.
Josh Gaddis?
Yes.
He was never our OC.
Okay. So maybe he was wide receiver coach.
Wide receiver coach. Then he went to Michigan, and Michigan realized, it might be better with somebody else.
Yeah.
And then he went to Miami.
He's the one that I feel like Barkley and McSorley made him look good, and then he went everywhere else, and it just sucks.
Joe Moorhead. And I mean, Joe, he did fine.
Yeah, he's all right.
He was okay at Mississippi State, and he was good for Oregon.
Yeah.
And I mean, now he's just kind of chilling in Akron.
I see Arkansas scored another touchdown there. They're putting it to them right now. It's still 8 minutes left in the first quarter, 5. I can't tell from here.
But yeah, Gaddis is Minnesota's OC now.
Yeah.
Maryland's,
be good.
Maryland's OC. Did I say Maryland? Maryland.
No, you said Minnesota.
Maryland's OC, which I don't know entirely who Maryland's quarterback is going into the season. It's the first time without Tua's brother in forever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to say the name.
Yeah. We all know who it is. It's just Tua's little brother.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting there.
But he's another good head coach. That Maryland coach.
Locksley.
Yep, Mike Locksley.
I mean, he's a good coach. You can't get over the hump.
Yeah. Well, it's hard at a place like that. It's like, what is, like, your teams like that, like Maryland, Maryland and Illinois, is like, what are your expectations? You really can't be a playoff team. Like, that can be an extreme goal, but it's not going to be your year in, year out goal to make playoffs at, like, those type of schools. So, I mean, you just got to hope for a winning record and be bowl eligible.
Well, I think the thing
there.
Like, with Maryland, they always start 3-0, 4-0, and get ranked.
Yep.
And then they go against a real team.
Yeah.
I mean,
they go against Ohio State, and then
they almost beat Michigan last year.
Lose by 40. Oh, man.
Like, that would have been something if they would have pulled off that upset against Michigan last year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That could have made things really interesting. They did not complete it.
Well, after I talked about this North Carolina State team, they just keep losing the ball. They got it back, but they fumbled it and went back like 7 yards.
Like, that's one thing with the team with a new quarterback. They sometimes get off to a slow start, but you can't have the offense down 100%. I don't feel like with one off season.
No, especially when a lot of these teams get new coordinators and get new position coaches. Like you said, new transfers coming in that haven't played with these guys. It's a lot of change.
There's the RPO for Rutgers. He'll pound it in here. I just looked at the money line on them was minus 100,000.
Ah, Jesus.
I think week 1, your safest bets are unders, and take the big underdogs.
Yeah.
Take the plus points. Take the plus points and take the unders. Is going to be your best bets.
Which I heard a lot of people saying that about the Georgia Tech game. Like, take Georgia Tech points, but we could see them upsetting and winning, and they actually did. So it is there. I wonder if we can start getting the Colorado game going.
Oh, yeah.
Colorado, Minnesota.
Minnesota won't start till 9 because I got delayed.
Oh, yeah. Such a programming.
Yeah. Good luck to Fox covering an hour.
Yeah.
Just put her on the Joe Klatt show. That's what they're doing too. No.
Yep.
At least that's what they're promoting.
Looks like
North Dakota State.
Dakota State's starting strong.
Might want to cash out that bet now.
No.
Look at all the yellow. Yeah. They traveled.
Traveled the Boulder.
Big play too.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was right up the middle. Man, that guy's slow. I hope he's not a corner.
I mean, besides Travis Hunter on the defense, you don't see any of them really getting recognized for being All-Americans or.
No. This should be another good matchup with Coastal Carolina and Jacksonville State kicking off. They're pretty level-headed teams.
Yeah, I seen the Charlotte coach.
Yeah.
Not that. I mean, just group of 5, so I guess it's related. Charlotte coach with his no sleeves.
Yeah.
No sleeves. He pretty much said, we're missing half our team. Half our starters are going to be out for week 1 against James Madison.
Oh, jeez.
So I guess go hammer James Madison. Because, Charlotte's going to be without half their starters is what he said.
Well, I guess I wish I knew that for our pool pick'em that we do.
Well,
I wouldn't have took... I think maybe I did take James Madison.
Oh, I took James Madison highly on the confidence chart.
I don't know if I did. Who are they playing?
It's James Madison and Charlotte.
Oh, yeah, I definitely picked James Madison then. I wouldn't have picked Charlotte.
2 or 3 seats there.
They got Crying Sharon Moron as the Fox villain.
Don't get me started. You took James Madison.
Yeah, that's good.
They act like Harbaugh died every time he got suspended. Free Harbaugh. And they act like he passed away.
Did you check out the Connor Stallions documentary yet?
Nope.
No.
I seen enough what I needed to see. Based on people's reaction it's just there's no substance to it.
No.
He says he can't recall being at the Western Michigan game.
Yeah.
Then Dave Portnoy comes on right after. Yeah, he told me he was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody who wants insight on that and watch the last 14 minutes of it, and that's really where where everything stands with the NCAA and everything else. But
North Dakota State nails a field goal.
Yeah.
So they're up early.
So even after the big play, it stutters out. So Colorado still got it going here.
We'll see.
Coastal Carolina puts in a field goal. I think that was their opening drive.
One thing, if Colorado shored up the offensive line, I know they tried last year and this year too.
Yep.
Like I think that's gonna be their big. Well, I guess defense too, but the biggest thing's got to be that offensive line.
Yeah.
So Shadur doesn't take so many sacks. And,
Yep.
Like if they could shore up that offensive line, they could turn it around. But if it's the same old offensive line performance of last year,
yeah, they're not gonna win very many games.
Right. Well, they still will because they're in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Like you're going from playing USC and Oregon and Washington and Oregon State, all the good teams. Now you're playing, Cincinnati
and UCF,
Baylor, Kansas State, which they have good teams, but nobody's being talked about as a national title contender in the Big 12.
Yeah.
At least the ACC, you had Florida State in that conversation, not now. And then Clemson's on the fringe of it.
Yeah.
Miami's on the fringe of it. Like, if things go right for Miami, you're talking about, could be a potential.
Yeah.
But you haven't heard nobody picking anybody in the Big 12 to make the national championship game.
Right.
Like, nobody's saying Utah's making the national championship game. Mm-hmm. Arizona's making it. Kansas State, whoever you want to pick.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying anybody from the Big 12 finishes in the top two.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the bracket, you want to be fifth. You want to be fifth in the bracket.
Yeah.
Because then you get to play the group of 5.
Yeah.
Then you go against
at home, right?
Yeah, group of 5, you play them at home.
Yep.
Then you're gonna play probably the Big 12 as the 4 seed. Because the Big 12 is probably
it'd be ACC or Big 12.
Well, right. But either way, whoever's the worst conference championship between the Big 12 and ACC, then you play them, and then you're in the
semi.
You're in the final 2 then. No. Then you're in the semis,
Yeah, you'd be in the semis.
Like, I think almost the easiest way to make the semis is the 5 seed.
Yeah. Be the best team that didn't win the conference championship game.
Right.
Which, like you said, could be
Oregon or
Texas or Ole Miss
or Alabama. I think you're gunning for the 5 because then you don't have as long of a layoff.
Yep.
So you
get a home field advantage.
You're probably losing the conference title game. That's the only bad part. You're probably playing in the conference title game.
Yep.
And you're probably losing the conference.
Yeah, it's going to be the Big 10 loser or the SEC loser.
Yeah. But you get that 5. You're going against a group of 5 team at home, which you're probably going to beat.
Yeah.
And then you get the 4 seed.
Well, it's going to be, and that's and that's what's crappy is, like you said, the Big 12, like you said, like, whoever wins that conference gets an automatic seed, right? Like, you could be barely 500, win that, and you'd be the 4 seed.
Unless a group of 5 team is ranked higher than them, because it's the 4 highest ranked conference champions.
Oh, okay.
But you're not going to have
a MAC champion that's ranked higher than
a MAC's not Boise State, Fresno State, Liberty.
I just don't see them ever getting a bye.
Liberty went undefeated last year and finished 23rd.
And got smoked by Oregon in a bowl game. Which, again, we don't really count bowl games, but it was not even competitive.
Well, yeah, Oregon wasn't exactly there to make a statement or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you look at if you're not, obviously you want to be 1 or 2.
Yep.
Obvious. But if you're 5 is the spot.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because like you said, you're getting a home field advantage against
the group of 5 teams.
The worst playoff team, and then you're more than likely going to go against the worst conference champion.
Which is most likely probably going to be the Big 12.
Yeah.
Or unless the ACC explodes. Yep, there goes Colorado.
Travis Hunter, I think.
Yep, Travis Hunter. Yep. Big play. 41-yard touchdown. Yep. As to that, Colorado, Hunter's going to be faster than anybody on North Dakota State.
Yes. Yep. And they have, I seen that they had Joe Horn's son's playing for them now. I think Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I just seen him in the player props and figured it. But yeah, I like I said, I just think Colorado can they're going to score. They're going to put a lot of points on the board. I don't think North Dakota State's going to be able to keep up.
Well, if it's anything like other North Dakota State teams, they're going to grind it out.
Yeah.
They're going to run the ball. What a terrible angle.
Yeah.
By 2 of them.
Yep. And then you just outran them.
That's just a terrible angle there. Terrible angle there. Like that was just,
like not missed tackles, no, just complete
bad angle. Yeah. Like if you look at the bracket, I think 5 is where you want to be. Until this year, Boise State beats whoever's 5.
Yeah. So I was trying to look up our pool because supposedly somebody put Notre Dame at like 7.
Mm-hmm.
They put like Texas A&M at like a different number.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah.
They're playing each other.
There can only be one winner. I guess you get zeros for both.
So what game did he miss? Let's see what else we have going out on DraftKings right now. Arkansas is up 28-0 already. This spread. Look at the spread for Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Minus 68.5.
I'm taking Arkansas Pine Bluff plus 68.5 right now.
Wow. Yeah, because they're definitely going to bring in their backups and.
Like I'm putting that bet in right now.
I don't know.
Not financial advice. This isn't financial advice. But plus 68.5.
Pittman's a desperate man. He might be. Hey, I put 80 on Arkansas Bluff.
I know, but plus 68.5. When's the last time Arkansas scored 70?
I'm sure people put that on TCU when Georgia beat them too, and they just kept scoring.
I already bet it, so I can't take it back.
No, it's done now. Come on, Arkansas Bluff.
Just 1 touchdown. Because they're not going to score 77.
Yeah, technically.
Missouri's already up 14-0 against Murray State. Missouri's an interesting team, too.
Yeah.
Brady Cook.
Yeah, they have a good coach. He's a good coach building that program over there. And they brought in that big wide receiver, Luther
Bird. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they recruited him. 5-star.
Yep.
I just don't know if they have enough to be in the same class as Georgia and Alabama and LSU.
Well, I mean, last year they ended up the season like 8th overall or so.
Yeah,
something like that. They beat Ohio State at the end of the year. Yeah, again,
with like their 3rd-string quarterback.
Yeah. And Ohio State didn't play good. They still don't know who a quarterback is to this day. They still don't know who a good quarterback is.
It's Howard.
It's for sure gonna be Howard. But
they announced it the other day.
Whether he's gonna play well and exceed expectations is what I mean.
I think he doesn't have a choice to play well with those wide receivers.
You would think
he just has to put it close.
Okay, but what's his face had Marvin Harrison Jr., Abuka. He had all the same caliber guys.
But Howard can run too.
Yeah, he can.
Where McCord wouldn't. Yeah. And you're bringing Chip Kelly in now.
Couldn't. Yeah.
You're bringing Chip Kelly in, who's gonna call more quarterback runs.
I think Chip Kelly's the difference maker this year for that team.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, it's just gonna extend more drives.
Yep.
With Howard being able to run more than McCord.
So is Hartline still just the wide receiver coach?
I think he's
or is he more of like an
assistant head coach and wide receiver coach?
Okay.
Just something to bump up his pay for keep getting the receivers.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with that, I mean, it seems like the Big Ten's between Oregon and Ohio State this year.
Yep.
And they get to play each other, so I mean, we'll get to see it on the field at least once.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 times. They meet the Big Ten title and then meet in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be interesting, too. You could see some of these Big Ten teams and SEC teams play 3 times.
Yeah, for sure. You see Rutgers put up another touchdown. Oh, it's 24-7.
Dakota State trying to move the ball this.
Just short of the first down, I think. They might have gave it to him.
Like that kind of has to be the game to watch right now, is the North Dakota State-Colorado game.
Yeah. Yep.
Until
Minnesota, North Carolina comes on, that's another good matchup.
Like you said, if Colorado can just out-athlete North Dakota State, then I could see them maybe making your cover.
Yeah.
But like I said, look, this is what North Dakota State does. They're just going to run the ball.
Yeah.
They run. And if you can't stop it, by the 4th quarter, you're going to be dead tired.
Yeah.
Did something chippy happen here?
I'm sure.
Nope. Just good block on Hunter.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing yet.
Right.
It's just a matter of time.
Colorado's going to have the edge to them just because of who their coach is. And nothing wrong with having an edge as long as it's you got to back it up too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely North Dakota State's definitely spreading them out for the passes, and then load them up for the runs.
And then you also have to look at with North Dakota State. Like, is that Cam Miller? He's not the quarterback from last year. So I know last year he ran a lot. Their quarterback.
Yeah. I thought that was the same quarterback.
I thought I watched their one of the game, and I don't remember Miller being there.
I think it was the same.
But going back to Colorado having an edge, like you can't have, talk all this big game, and then when a reporter calls you out on your BS, ban him.
Yeah.
Like, he has a job. His job is to cover
your program. Yeah.
And like I get it, he was like only negative.
All right.
But I mean,
but there's a lot more negative than positive to report.
Right. And I mean,
so
if you really look at it, like that's his job. His job is to get clicks and get reads and views, and he's writing what gets views. Yeah, so he did play last year.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I mean, North Dakota State's moving the ball again.
Yeah, they are. I was curious to see if, their first drive, was just going to be that one big play, and that was about it. But they're moving the ball pretty good. I think that's their third first down this drive.
Yeah, I mean, they're just hitting slants.
Yeah.
Every play's been a slant.
This might be a touchdown right here. Close to it. Got down to the 5.
They're just running slants. It's like back when Don Brown was the offensive coordinator for Michigan.
Yeah.
And all Ohio State did was run drag routes and crossing routes.
Being 66-7. Yeah.
Like, they loved seeing Don Brown as the defensive coordinator at Michigan. Just crossing routes. That's how you beat Michigan. Crossing routes with him. Yeah, like, that's pretty much all they're running is just quick slants.
Yeah.
And they're open. Now you got to think they're probably going to try to punch this in.
Yep.
6 yards, 4 plays. Yep, quarterback run. Didn't get the corner, lost yards. If North Dakota is going to pull the upset, they can't settle for field goals.
Oh, we lost the North Carolina State game.
We did.
I want to see the failure of Grayson McCall here. I want to see what.
See if he bounced back from that big interception.
Yeah, let me see here.
No,
West Carolina scored again. It's 14-7.
Well, it was 7-0. So.
Yeah, yep. North Carolina scored.
How's my Arkansas Pine Bluff bet looking? It's not like 42-0 already, is it?
Let me look. I just want to do a little. I want to get some stats real quick. So Grayson McCall is starting the game 6 for 10 for 102. A touchdown and interception. So it's not horrible.
No,
I think he's getting into a rhythm now.
Right.
So it looks like they just scored again. So yeah, now he's got 2 touchdowns, 145 yards. So they're gonna start making the.
It's open.
Making the
touchdown
turn.
North Dakota State. And it's gonna be Colorado can't lose this game.
Well, they can.
Well, yeah,
but it ain't gonna. Yeah.
Dion can't lose this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he's already losing his shit.
Because if they lose this, they go back to it being irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
Because didn't they start off 5-0 last year and end up 6-6?
I don't think so. I think I
thought it was 5-0 and then
they might have got to 4-0, but they lost Colorado State, didn't they?
No, they beat Colorado State.
Did they? It's just overtime. Yeah. Okay.
Colorado.
So yeah, they might have started then. It is 28-0 at the end of the first for your bet.
All right. We just have to slow them down a little bit.
But my Colorado bet's not.
So they finished 4-8.
Phenomenal right now.
Yeah, like I said, it's early. Let's see what they started. They started 1, 2. Oh, why'd it go all the way back to 2021? Give me a minute here. All right, so they started off 1, 2. They started off 3-0. Yeah, 3-0, and then they went 1-8. Their last 9 for 4-8.
Yeah.
So they started 3-0, and then went 1-8 their last 9.
That's horrible.
If you start the season 0-1,
there ain't much going up.
You can pretty much, not that anybody's really predicting Colorado to. I haven't seen any prediction for Colorado to win the Big 12.
No.
I think if you're looking for, I think you're probably looking for more consistency. Like if they can make a bowl game.
Yeah.
I think that's what you have to look at is like actually like realistic expectations.
Yeah.
If Colorado can get to a bowl game, because I mean they were
decent.
They were like the worst team 2 years ago before Deion got there, because Mel Tucker left them in a terrible position.
Yep.
So I get Colorado was one of the worst teams 2 years ago, but Deion comes in, brings in what 60 transfers, 50 transfers, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was 50 something.
So it's a brand new team, and then started off 3-0.
Yep.
Then 1-8 for 4-8.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you gotta also
just look at incremental.
Yes.
Incremental success.
Yeah.
4-8. Now go 6-6. Get to the bowl game.
Yeah.
Build an actual culture.
Yeah.
And expectations, and then you don't go from 6-6 to 8-4.
But and it kind of questions, like, is he serious about this? Like, what happens when his kids leave? Right. He's still got both kids playing for him. Is he gonna still bring that same intensity and the same passion when his kids aren't there?
I think he will. But I mean, he says all the right things.
Yeah. Yeah, he's good at the camera. But I think it tells you a lot of he's gonna struggle once his kids. Because I feel like
he's got to get a quarterback.
Well, that, and like I feel like with Shadur, like that definitely helped Travis Hunter stay and be a part of it. But like they ended up recruiting that other like really good corner, McLean, yes, and he ended up transferring out.
They bullied him.
Like so it's like
they bullied him, so he went to Florida.
Yeah. To me, that was kind of like an eye-opening like loss on the transfer portal. So like you said, like it's going to be very select few people that buy into Deion's.
If it doesn't start to show signs of success, it's going to be hard to sell it.
Yeah.
Like you can't sell, hey, come here, we're going to win, if you can't get to 6-6.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like he tries to be like this really strict.
He's trying to be Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
Because that's who he came up with.
Yeah.
He came up with Florida State with Bobby Bowden. So that's kind of his tough love type stuff. And I mean, it works, but I mean,
it's got to be on the field for it to work.
Yeah. Like, eventually you got to see on the field solutions. And like you said, if he's going to lose Shadur, he's going to lose Travis Hunter after the season.
Yeah.
Who does he go get to replace them?
Yeah.
Because it's
and obviously their defense is still whole.
Right.
As a unit as a whole. I mean, they're not off to a great start.
Well, I mean,
tonight.
Look at anybody that's winning. Georgia and Michigan, basically, the last few years. They're still doing it the old-fashioned way through recruiting classes, and they bring in a couple transfers.
Mm-hmm.
They bring in a few transfers, but for the most part, you still have to build it up through the high school ranks.
Yeah.
And develop players.
Yep.
And I mean, for the most part, he doesn't do in-home visits. He's not going out and visiting recruits like all the other coaches.
Yeah. He's solely relying on the transfer portal. He's
like, at some point you have to build a culture, and we haven't seen anybody use the transfer portal as their main mode of roster construction and have continued success.
Yeah.
You have the flash in the pans like Michigan State. When Mel Tucker brought in that huge transfer class, they made the Peach Bowl, and then they fell right off the next year. You have the flash in the pans transfer portal. It works one year, and then the next year it's not guaranteed. So you're seeing. I think it's been proven that you can't build your team solely on the transfer portal.
Yeah,
because if you look at, Ohio State brought in they didn't bring in a ton of transfers if you really look at it. They just brought in high-end transfers.
Yeah, and and I remember Deion in an interview where somebody quoted him in an article. He said that he felt bad for high school kids nowadays because he felt nobody's going to recruit out of high school anymore. It's just all going to be transfer portals.
And that's not the case.
And it's not the case. I mean, obviously it might turn a little bit in the coming years, but I really don't see it. It's like I said, it's still you gotta have depth, and you gotta have people that are willing to, grind it out, get a little playing time, and that, like you said, George has been really successful at that, at keeping its good players. But on the other end, we've still lost a lot of good players because of the transfer portal so easy and accessible.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, but it's definitely hard to like rebuild a program and keep it stable.
Right.
Just like, you're going to see it at Washington. DeBoer came in, he had a lot of transfers come in with him. He had success on the field, got that team to a national championship game. Now he's gone.
There's one starter left.
They're not going to be competitive in the next 5 years. It's just not going to happen.
And Jed Fish is a good coach.
He is, but
he thought he was going to bring a bunch of guys from Arizona with him, and his two biggest players didn't come.
Yeah.
So I think that surprised him when he took the Washington job, that he wasn't able to get his best players from Arizona to come with him. So I think that's going to delay. I mean, they still got Will Rogers. So, I mean, they have a decent quarterback. I mean, Rogers was good for Mississippi State.
Yeah.
But, like, you brought back one starter.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot of precedent for bringing back one starter out of 22 and having a good season.
Yeah. Now Colorado's got the ball again.
Wide open down the middle.
Yeah, going deep. I don't know who that is.
So I guess the overs was what to take.
Yeah, the over was the bet. I hope that's that Horn guy. I got him a player prop too.
Jimmy Horn for 70-yard touchdown.
There you go. Just like that. I need him receptions though. I don't need yards and touchdowns. I don't need yards and touchdowns. Well, I need you just to chuck it to him.
That might
three more times.
That might be where you screwed up. You should have took the yards and touchdowns.
I think I got him over 3.5. So you just got to catch the ball 4 times. That's his second one. We're halfway there.
I don't know if that's his second. That says
no, that doesn't. But he caught one earlier when I watched. So he's halfway there, and we're still in the first quarter. So
the over.
I'm pretty sure Colorado is going to get the ball like about 17 more times the way this game is playing out.
Yeah. North Dakota State's not really milking the clock as much as I thought.
Well, I don't think
one big play and then they stalled.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just went right down the field that last drive.
But Colorado's defense really doesn't give them a hard time to run down the clock.
They don't exactly have to grind it out.
Yeah. Rutgers scored again for anybody who cares. It's 31-7 now. So, maybe 33. If they can score again, I can't tell how much time's left. I'm pretty sure it's a good amount of fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's the whole fourth quarter, basically. Howard just got the 4th and 3.
Yeah. But they're probably going to put some more points up here, so.
Yeah, you could see some Rutgers depth getting some play. Jacksonville State's not looking too good. Coastal Carolina just recovered a fumble for touchdown. They're up 17-3.
Yep.
Who did I pick?
I definitely picked Jacksonville State in our pool.
Why is there so many messages in our group chat?
Because Nick put 2 teams that play together, and then somebody else said like why we aren't doing it through the ESPN app.
Because they only do 10 games.
Yeah.
They don't pick all.
Yeah. And they're not always the best games, in my opinion.
All right. I'm hoping for a massive Jacksonville State comeback. Because
that's another game that I would take the over on, and it's a 50-50 as USC and LSU. Neutral stadium, they're going to play in Vegas. I just seen it being an offensive shootout. I feel like LSU lost a lot on defense. I think they lost 6 starters on defense.
They weren't great at defense. So
yeah,
that could be good.
Yeah, could be.
Might not hurt.
But yeah, I just feel like that game's going to be a offensive shootout with Lincoln Riley, and then that LSU quarterback's good. Nussmeier, yep.
64 is the over-under.
For
USC LSU. So you're hoping 30-something to 30-something.
Yeah, I'd still hit that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because supposedly, the defense is fixed at USC.
He says that every year. He has to.
Well, he didn't say that every year because he had Grinch every year. He finally got rid of Grinch and brought in a decent DC.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always had the athletes there on defense.
Yeah. But he had the same thing in Oklahoma. They could not play defense.
It was Grinch still.
I get it, but
He would not move off of him.
well,
USC will be dangerous if they just improve a little bit on defense.
Yeah, I agree.
If they just improve a little, if they just become above average defense. Riley's never had a bad offense, ever.
No, and he probably never will, but his defensive coordinator choice is just horrible.
Well, he finally moved on, so, Pete Carroll's there.
And it's the same thing with Clemson. If Dabo can find a new Brent Venables,
Well,
they'd be right back into the
defense isn't their problem. Venables was defense. They're still good defense. They can't do anything on offense.
Yeah, well,
they are constipated on offense.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they thought Cade Klubnik was the answer, and he has not showed it yet.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny that, I felt like people thought that they're crazy for dumping DJ Ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
And, now that he's transferred to, he transferred to Oregon State. I mean, he had a good year statistically.
Mm-hmm.
But the team was okay. And then now he's at Florida State and kind of took a lump in the first game. It's like, it wasn't so crazy that we moved on from him.
North Dakota State's moving the ball again. I mean, they had the big 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
All right, here comes the big third down for Colorado's defense.
Yeah.
Can they get off the field? It's across midfield, so it could be 4-down territory for North Dakota. But can Colorado get off the field here?
Yeah.
That's going to be the big question. Smothers is the quarterback. Where was he at? That name's familiar. I feel like he was somewhere. Smothers, Jacks, where? Nebraska. I knew I seen his name somewhere. First down.
Extended play, yep. You got out of there.
Smell something.
Oh, what you smelling?
Dog probably too chiming in here.
You can't blame the dog being here.
I could with Fubo, but Fubo went up so much in pricing.
Yeah.
Like, Fubo was like $120 a month now.
Yeah, we could do Colorado. That was different. Colorado, Arkansas, North Carolina State.
Yeah.
I'd do that until
it dropped the. Let's see. Watch it multi-view. Build a multi-view. Hey, now we're learning something.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're on a roll.
What can I go for? I gotta watch the Arkansas game because I put money on it.
Now we have to watch that. We gotta watch the Colorado game. We gotta watch Minnesota when they come on.
All right, we'll just leave it at these three for now. Because Missouri was already up 14-0 when we looked.
I would just rather see North Carolina State versus not Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina's not up there.
Okay, because that game is...
we got Arkansas just because I was stupid and put a bet plus 68.5. That might not hit.
West Carolina scored again.
Yeah.
Now it's tied up.
Well, it was 14-14. Don't you remember what you were looking at? You don't remember what you were looking at. It was 14-14. NC State tied it. Yeah, NC tied it at 14-14. Yeah.
Well,
you're wrong.
Pretty sure I'm not.
Yeah, so now we got Western Carolina, NC State, Colorado, North Dakota State, and Arkansas, Pine Bluff, plus 68.5.
Plus 68.5.
Plus 68.5. Might not hit.
Might not.
Let me go see what it is now.
All right.
Might double down here.
I really needed Colorado to make that stop and score. And I've been very confident about my bets.
See, it's down to 66 now. So I made the right. I'm in at plus 2.
Plus 2.
68.5. So
player props was over or under 305 yards passing.
Oh, he should hit that.
He should.
It appears he's going to. He's got a 40-yard touchdown and a 70-yard touchdown.
And they haven't ran the ball more than twice.
Right.
That is their offense right now.
Yeah, let's go look at his stats.
And I need Jimmy Horn, I think is his name, to catch 2 more balls.
Score!
And I believe
it was 5 for 5 for 134 and 2 touchdowns. And they've run the ball 3 times.
I don't know what I did with my phone.
It dropped on the floor last I knew.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so Horn's got the 2 catches. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely going, like, North Dakota State's doing what they want to do because that first quarter, Colorado ran 8 plays.
Yeah.
And North Dakota State ran 20. Time of possession, 11:35 for North Dakota State, 3:25 for Colorado.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's tied. Or, no, is it tied? What is it? They're ahead.
10-14.
Yeah, so Colorado's ahead 14-10.
Yep.
But North Dakota State's playing it how they want to play it.
Yeah.
We're going to be on the field.
Yeah. And eventually, those big plays are going to stop coming from Colorado. They're going to
might
have
not,
to put
because I think they can.
some 7-play drive, 8-play drive.
They might be able to
outrun them.
Just out athlete North Dakota State.
Yeah,
it's just going to be open. And
so I got a same game parlay for plus 232. Colorado minus 12.5.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Horn to have 4 catches or more, and then Shador over 225 yards.
I think your biggest thing is Colorado
is the spread. Yeah.
Which, if they can, they might just take one more stop.
They need a stop on defense and score, and they might be all right.
Because you get one more stop.
Well, Arkansas scored again.
Shut up. And they got the ball.
And they have the ball.
At some point, they got to take the foot off the pedal, right?
Throwing it deep.
Man.
I'm telling you, Pittman is a desperate man. He's got to show that he can win.
You're not going to show anything by beating Arkansas and Applied Bluff by 69.
You're not going to tell you when your seat's on fire.
They can win by 67.
Well, they could.
67-0. I still win.
Maybe.
I'm just saying, you're not proving anything by beating Arkansas Pine Bluff by 69 or more.
Well,
or you can beat them by 68 because I got 68.5.
They might beat them 70-0. And with tackling like that, you might have messed up that bet.
It was $5. It was $5, so
yeah,
I'm not super worried.
What is it? It's 3rd and 8 for North Dakota State here.
They got them spread out, so slants again.
It's almost definite.
Crossing route.
I got some pressure on him.
Yep.
And overthrew him.
Down.
So there you go.
Flag,
yep.
Roughing the passer.
And probably more of a holding on the defense. See what the call is here.
Offsides.
Offsides. Oh my God.
So
shoot yourself in the toes that you don't have. You gotta be kidding me.
Like, Arkansas can run a little bit more time off the clock before they hike it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
There's no need to go in a turbo offense here.
You're gonna end up sweating on Arkansas Bluff. Bet. Because there's another touchdown. And there's now 42-0 with
halfway through the second.
8 minutes left in the second quarter. They might put up 80.
As long as Arkansas Pine Bluff scores 20. Doesn't look good.
It does not look good at all.
I mean, you can't blame me. You see 68.5.
I mean,
that's a big number.
I get it, but have you ever seen Arkansas Bluff play football?
No, I've seen Arkansas play football, though.
Yeah.
That's mainly what I was basing this on, is I've seen Arkansas play football before.
Yeah.
It hasn't been great the last couple of years.
Well, you're better off trying to hedge it with West Carolina's points.
Oh, yeah.
It's still tied.
No, I'm on the wrong end.
Only 4 minutes left on
the wrong end of it now.
Well, now, yeah. But I think you're going to be on the wrong end of this Arkansas deal here.
Yeah, because it's Western Carolina plus 17.5 right now.
17.5?
Yeah. So, they still got NC State winning by 18.
Well, I get that, but I mean, you can keep it close.
Look how that's going. I'm almost keeping it within 68.5. I'm looking for 68.5 and not getting it.
Well, I understand, but that's a complete blowout. That's at least a game right now.
I think if I proved anything, it's don't live bet.
Yeah, that's true.
With a team you don't know anything about.
Yeah. I said I'm sure I will be come Saturday. I'll be sweating my Iowa bet because, they're supposed to. Their spread's higher than what their total points scored for a 6-game stretch last year.
And Ferris isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that McNamara has a career game and their defenses, if their defense can put up some points, that would, but again, Illinois State, how often do you see them play football? Right.
Now it's going to be nice to see Michigan this year. I think we don't find anything about them until next week. When they play Texas.
Yeah. Fresno State's not going to show us anything.
I mean, the only thing you can see is, maybe not so good.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be different with Orgy.
Yeah, I think it is, but I also think they're gonna kind of change their offensive look to help Orgy. I think you're gonna see. Honestly, I think you're gonna see more of an old Urban Meyer approach of read options. Still running the ball, but in different ways than what they've been known for the last couple of years.
They've rebuilt that offensive line.
Yep.
And of course, one report I've seen, there's still like 2 positions up for grabs. Like they haven't named 2 offensive line starters.
Yeah. But they also have Colson Loveland, who's probably going to be at least top 2 tight end in the nation coming back. And that's usually like a fail safe for a new quarterback. So
I just don't think they're going to win pretty anywhere.
No, yeah, they're definitely not going to be as dominant.
Like the defense is going to be just as good, but
see, North Dakota State's knocking on the door. I think they're inside the 5 now, or to the 5. Yeah.
Like at this point, I just need Arkansas and Pine Bluff to like just get a first down.
Just run a little clock down.
Shorten the game up. Let's get out of here. 66-0.
Yeah.
63-0.
I'm telling you, I really jinxed this North Carolina State team because
they're coming back.
I was talking them up, and now they're just struggling.
It's the ACC.
Yeah, that's enough said. That's why we stick to our Power 2 teams.
Oh, touchdown.
And there's a touchdown, North Dakota State.
17-14.
Yeah.
Makes that. Colorado's got to find a stop.
Yeah, their defense is not good.
They fit right in with the Big 12 now, though.
They do. That's the mantra. We play one side of the ball. Hope we get it last.
Fit right in.
Oh, look at that hold.
Yeah. Hold getting away. Same thing.
Look at the hold. See, I wish I didn't put money on this game because I'm not going to root for Colorado, which I never want to do.
It's going to be interesting to see what the ratings were for this game. Are they going to have their really high ratings like they did last year for the first few games? Because remember, after 4 games, they had the 4 highest ranked watched games or whatever.
Yeah, and the most bet on games. Yeah.
Because you can guarantee if Colorado wins a couple games, ESPN's gonna lean in either way. Yeah. If Colorado's good or bad, ESPN's gonna milk that cow. All right, 3rd and 6, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and we're we got a first down.
Oh my god, he just had a brick wall, stopped him in his tracks.
Just run out the half. 42.
Yeah, and run the ball or something.
Starts in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So for the Big Ten, my surprise teams, I'm all in on Indiana.
Yeah.
I'm all in on Coach Sig.
Yeah.
If you look at their schedule, and if they just play good, don't even have to be great, they could start off 6-0. They could be 6-0 going against Nebraska.
Yeah.
I went through my I have them going 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
Which for Indiana is huge.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, they got Nathan Rourke from Ohio.
Yep.
A little Maction, but he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
So
like I said, there's a lot of good players that come out of the MAC.
I'm buying in on Coach Sig not being a loser.
Yeah.
He's won everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
So that's who I'm.
And Indiana's always kind of carried that, they play tough. They play teams tough, you know. And they usually play Michigan pretty tough, you know. They try to play Ohio State tough, but usually they just, they get outlasted.
But yeah, I think if he's only won, wherever he's been, he's always won.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it hasn't been in the big conferences yet. This is his first shot at big time college football.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in on Indiana this year being good.
Yeah. I would say for the SEC, like I said, I wouldn't say it's much of a surprise, but I like I said, I think Lane Kiffin's going to put something together finally. I definitely think you're going to see a Georgia Ole Miss SEC championship game. Like I said, Ole Miss has one of the easiest schedules. Like I said, outside of Georgia and LSU, I think is what it is.
And then I know it's Rutgers, but Rutgers' schedule.
Yeah.
Rutgers could have 8 wins too.
I don't know, because their offense is just not exciting at all.
Do you want to hear the schedule?
Sure.
Howard.
I don't think it's going to change my mind.
Howard.
Okay.
W.
I mean, yeah.
Howard. Akron.
Okay.
Virginia Tech. That's where we learn.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech. Is this the same old Rutgers?
Yeah.
Colorado went for it on 4th down in their own territory. Didn't get there, I don't think. This is going to be a big spot.
I don't think he even got close.
He's got, I think it was a touchback, so it's just got to get to the Did not get it. If that's going to go to review, but
Yeah.
if that stands, that's a huge decision to go for it there.
Yeah.
Kind of cocky.
Well, that's the mantra that he lives and dies by there, but
like,
especially in shotgun formation, is there run just up the middle? That's smart.
Oh, he got there. I think that's gonna get.
I don't know.
It looked like in the first
go, maybe, but
that's all it needs to be is the first go. I think it's gonna get reviewed. Need a little bit better view. Get out of here, Fubo. Why's Fubo running a commercial on YouTube TV? If YouTube TV's watching, this could be presented by YouTube TV.
Yeah. I said that was just a horrible decision on Dion's part to go for it there in your own territory. Oh, now Shador's hurt. That's good.
Cramp. He's fine.
But also horrible play call.
I think
horrible play call.
You watch. I think he went down more time to review it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because they didn't exactly jump to review it.
Yeah.
See, I think that's what you're getting into.
Yeah, and he's up already.
Yeah, I think you're getting into more time to see it.
Yeah.
Without Dion having to challenge it himself.
Yeah. North Carolina State is inching towards the red zone here. They're just outside the 20. Still tied with only 2 minutes left in the half.
I can't believe the booth's still not going to review this.
Yeah, like I said, I just think the spin did not help.
If this stands, that's a huge play call early in the game.
Yeah, because like you said, if they score a touchdown here and go up 10,
going for it on your own, 34.
Yeah, when your defense has not stopped them or even slowed them down, yeah, it's not good.
Arkansas Pine Bluff still has the ball.
Yeah, they might get a field goal out of here. Well, Arkansas is taking time out.
Yeah, that's because Pine Bluff's driving. They're scared.
They got to regroup. But that was just a terrible decision on Dion's part there.
Yeah, it's gonna stand. It stood. So
yeah, and like you said, and you got it to 3rd and 4. Looks like.
Yeah, no, but shorter than that because he popped ahead there. Yeah, if North Dakota State goes down and gets a touchdown, that could be the play that turned the game.
Why do they gotta do my dogs like that? 2-time national championships. 0-2 versus Bama. Don't do me like that.
Beat Bama.
Shut up.
Go bark at an elephant. Yeah, if North Dakota State goes on to score here,
it's 33 right now.
And that could be the turning point in the game. Was that 4th down? Let's see if they
got motion, running back, quarterback run. He got
first down.
Yep.
I can say if North Dakota State punches this for a touchdown, you could look back at that 4th down.
Even if they get a field, I feel like they're already in field goal range. Even if they get away with a field goal, that's just a poor decision altogether.
I think they got to go up 24-14 here for it to really matter. Because if they kick a field goal, Colorado goes down and scores, they're ahead again.
Yeah.
21. Where this puts you 2 scores ahead if North Dakota State gets a touchdown here.
Yeah.
I think this is. I jinxed my Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're punting.
Yep. With 1:50 left.
This could be 49-0 at half.
You're going to see how desperate Sam Pittman really is here in a second. If you don't just run out this last minute and a half.
What a terrible punt.
That was
It was 30 yards.
Quarterback could have threw it farther than that.
Taylor Green, he's pretty good. Arkansas quarterback, transferred.
Yeah.
Could be just what Pittman ordered.
Yeah. And like I said, he's a big body quarterback. He can move.
Because, you look at anything in college football, it's how good is your quarterback, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can't win with a bad quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
For as much crap as Georgia gets for quarterback play.
Yeah. North Carolina State just went for it on 4th down and didn't get it. And they were
deep into West Carolina territory.
Yeah.
They were in field goal range.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were well in field goal range.
Yeah. Inside the 20.
Ran a gadget play. Fake jet sweep.
Side block.
Just didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Taylor Green, could just be, like you said, exactly what Arkansas needed.
Yeah.
Because he can throw the ball deep. And that's what you look at.
Flag on Colorado's defense.
That's what we're seeing is you gotta have the quarterback.
Yeah.
As much as we say Michigan hid the quarterback, JJ McCarthy still made big plays.
Yeah. When he had to, when he needed to. Let's see what the flag is for.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness.
On what though? Just because he hit him?
I know, but it was late. Because he already dropped that ball and he's going out. The ball's already down there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just unnecessary.
That was a weak call, I think, but North Dakota State. Yeah, I think it's over now. They're definitely going to score a touchdown here.
Yeah. Hardest part to score is inside 10 because you can't spread them out really. Can't go over top. Another flag.
It's probably on Charlo again.
Nope, ineligible man downfield. Back them up.
There you go.
Like I said, this is the hardest part to score in the field.
That might help them or they might hurt them.
Arkansas is just airing it out.
Yeah, they're going to score some more points for the end of the half. You don't bet on a desperate man. Same pitch.
That quarterback run really hasn't been that successful.
I mean, it's 4 yards a run.
I think that's holding North. Let's see what happens here. I think it's holding against North Dakota State.
If it is, that's huge.
Yeah, because I mean, it's going to be 1st and goal from the 20.
Yeah, I don't know. That Colorado guy doesn't seem too happy. So
I think it's Hunter holding offense. Yeah,
huh?
Remember he got away with it on the other
first
touchdown.
Drive. I said North Dakota or North Carolina State going halftime tied 14-14.
Oh yeah, that's a hold.
Yeah, that was against Hunter too. The only way they can block him is holding him. It's too quick.
Yeah, 2 huge penalties against North Dakota State.
I know.
For 2nd and goal from the 20.
I got some miscommunication on the defense though.
Quarterback draw.
And there's one person there.
3rd and goal from the 12.
Yeah.
So most likely you're going to hold them to a field goal here.
Yeah.
Then, and like I said, it's not so bad because you're not going down 2 scores.
Right.
You just go down and score a touchdown this next drive, and everything's made up again.
Arkansas still pushing with 32 seconds left. Probably get 45. Probably 45 at halftime.
I don't even know what the mascot for Arkansas might be. I can't even say what mascot to root for.
I think it's
reverse to lose more yards.
Yeah. Now I hope they missed a field goal.
Right, like why? Oh, now it's 3rd and goal. Yeah. So the down was wrong on the TV. A halftime of Western Carolina, NC State. They found some rhythm there. I just don't know why they went for it on 4th down there. They found rhythm toward the end of the half there. Yeah,
that's another coaching decision. That's like, would you have called that if you're playing, Syracuse or like another ACC team?
There goes Stanley Green.
Yeah.
It's a long run.
They're putting up 70.
Probably.
They're at 50 at halftime. Damn near. Go for 2.
Why not?
I know.
Yeah, so they're going to hold North Dakota State to a field goal attempt.
Yeah. And right now I'm hoping they miss it just to blunder friggin' Sanders' poor decision making. Looks like he made it.
Yeah. Yep. But still, I mean, Colorado scores touchdown. They're up 21-20.
Yeah, right before half.
Nothing hurt.
We probably try to get the Minnesota game going on here.
That's probably.
Or at least
I'm calling it.
Get it going.
So I think we're going to call it a night right now. See how this Colorado-North Dakota State game turns out and storylines that come with that. And then we'll see what happens in the Minnesota-North Carolina game. They got pushed back an hour. See if NC State
can get back in rhythm here.
Can pull out a win there. Because that'd be huge if North Carolina State loses. Florida State already lost.
Yeah.
Clemson's against Georgia. Miami's against Florida.
Yeah.
ACC could be dead in the water after week 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll be huge. I think that'll do it for us, and we'll probably be doing more of these throughout the season, hopefully. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah. See you next time.